Welcome to Strength for Today and Bright Hope for Tomorrow, Part 4. Today we start to look at a new verse. 2 Chronicles chapter 16 and verse 9 says, "For the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth, to show himself strong in the behalf of them whose heart is perfect toward him." Mabel Francis was a missionary who labored in Japan. She labored there through World War I, through the Great Depression, and in the difficult years leading up to World War II. She was in her 60s when the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor. Mabel decided to stay in Japan and continue her work as best she could during the war. She wanted to be there after the conflict, whoever won or lost, to spread the healing message of the gospel in a post-war era. As the war worsened, Mabel was placed under house arrest in her Tokyo home. Over the years, she had won the respect of the local police and government officials, and they treated her with humanity. In return, Mabel turned her home into a sort of small hospital and tended to the sick who came to her. But finally the day came when she was interred in a wartime prison camp, which was housed in a large building in Tokyo. Though never mistreated, Mabel's deteriorating conditions were lonely, sparse, and frightening. The food became worse and worse, and some days there was none at all. Toward the end of the war, another danger arose. The Allies began bombing Tokyo, and every night she heard the droning of B-29s in the skies over Japan. The explosions came closer and closer. One night, a bomb destroyed an adjacent building and the fire spread. The prisoners were herded into the streets where they huddled in the open air with flames all around them, surrounded by suffering people, orphaned children, weeping women, and broken men. Mosquitoes tormented them. In her autobiography, Mabel described the difficulties of those days. The whole city was in ruins. She was weakened, undernourished, and exhausted, and she faced unbelievable suffering on every side. With no money, she was desperate and destitute. That's when Mabel opened her Bible and found a single verse that stayed with her the rest of her life. It was 2 Chronicles 16:9. The rest of Mabel's book tells about the indelible ministry she conducted in post-war Japan, the open doors and the incredible things that happened through her. She teamed up with the Japanese pastor of the First Methodist Church, located in Ginza, the main street of Tokyo. The church had a big hole in its roof because of a bomb, but that turned out to be a blessing. Every night the church sponsored gospel concerts, and the music rang through the hole, spread over the entire center of the city, and drew people in. American GIs flooded Japan, and many were zealous Christians. Mabel recruited them to do a tremendous work in Tokyo and beyond. A series of programs called the GI Gospel Hour became the means of many Japanese citizens coming to Christ. Mabel also went down to Hiroshima and led people to Christ who had suffered the atomic bomb. She helped organize a church among the survivors. When she finally left Japan in her old age, the entire country owed her a debt of gratitude. She was recognized as an honorary citizen of her city and honored for her lifetime of service, which was accomplished in the strength of the Lord. Her secret, as she always said afterward, was that promise in 2 Chronicles chapter 16 and verse 9. God is looking for people to show himself strong through. His eyes are roaming throughout the earth. He is looking for people who have turned their heart toward him. Another version of the Bible renders 2 Chronicles 16:9 this way: "For the eyes of the Lord move about on all the earth to strengthen the heart that is completely toward him." It puts a little different spin on things, but I think both perspectives are right. If our hearts are turned toward God, he will strengthen those hearts so he can show himself strong through us. He will strengthen us for the work and also do strong exploits through us. This very same promise is available to us now, as it was in biblical times or during the days of World War II. It's for you and me, just as surely as it applied to Mabel or any other missionary. It's a promise with no geographical limitations. It's a promise of strength with no expiration date. It has no shelf life. It's perpetually fresh and potent. The eyes of the Lord never droop, never close, never slumber, and never sleep. Every moment of every day, our Lord's eagle eye scans every corner of the globe, surveying every heart of every person, looking for someone, looking for you, for anyone whose heart is completely committed to Jesus Christ. May his eyes find you today. God bless you. Have a great day.